This video has been sponsored by Mech Arena. Stick around to learn how you can earn an exclusive mech and other in-game rewards. The Final Fantasy franchise has never steered away from making spin-off games, from Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, Tactics, and my personal favorite, Dissidia. But when I sat down and played Final Fantasy Theatrhythm for the first time on the 3DS, I was hooked. The Final Fantasy franchise is synonymous for its music. How this game went under my radar is beyond me. But it couldn't have happened at a better time because the game's 2014 sequel, Curtain Call, was right around the corner, and I loved it too. It added more songs, characters, and even the option for DLC. So when I got wind in 2016 that there was another game in the series in Japanese arcades, I knew it was only a matter of time. They had to port it over. The Nintendo Switch was right around the corner and it was going to be coming out any time. Are you kidding me? If there's one thing I enjoy, it's a good rhythm game. So to my surprise during the Nintendo Direct of September of 2022 that we would eventually be getting a new Theatrhythm game, to say I was excited would be an understatement. I'd always hoped that after the release of Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory in November of 2020, that we would get a new Theatrhythm game, or at least a port of the arcade version, as they are made by the same studio. But after all this time, does it deserve standing ovation, or does it fall flat? Well, let's find out today in my review of Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. But before we hop into our seats in the orchestra pit, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Mech Arena Robot Showdown. You know what's cool? Giant robots. Do you know what's even cooler? Giant robots beating the crap out of each other. And you can do it anywhere. You could do it on the ride to the grocery store, underneath a tree, on the toilet. I'm not gonna judge you. Mech Arena is a fast-paced mobile game where you hop into a mech and take down enemy teams. There's a bunch of fun stuff to unlock like robots, maps, and weapon skins. One of my favorite things is that in the game's team-based PvP, the maps are smaller, so you're able to typically do one match in about 5 minutes, which is great for those toilet sessions. The game is constantly being updated. They've recently added clans, a free-for-all mode, and weapons. There's also some cool events and skins on the horizon as well, with new stuff being added all the time. The best part is everything I mentioned is completely free on mobile and PC. All you have to do is click the link in the description down below or scan this QR code right here. Once you reach Division 9, you'll earn yourself a free starter pack with a legendary skin, 70,000 credits, and 500 A coins. You can also play with friends, so be sure to add my mech ID on screen now, and let's go blow some giant robots up! Make sure you click that link or scan the QR code. And again, I want to thank Mech Arena for being today's sponsor. With that out of the way, it's time for us to take our seats for the main event as I review Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. The gameplay remains relatively unchanged from previous entries in the franchise. You press or hold a button to the beat, and oftentimes the game will throw a curveball with needing to add an input in from a joystick on top of the button presses, which at first didn't bother me. It's when they add the 2 joystick inputs at the same time, which, again, normally wouldn't be an issue, but since the Switch's joysticks are not symmetrical, it can cause a bit of a headache. But that's only half of the gameplay. The other half is the cast of characters, and oh boy, is there a lot of them. Over 100 characters to unlock and use, and they actually do matter. In previous Theatrhythm games, you could for the most part pick who you wanted and play away. You can still do that in Final Bar Line, however, you might have a more difficult time completing certain challenges along the way. While the previous games in the series also had character sets, it didn't feel like it really mattered all that much. Now they've added weaknesses and resistances to the mix of enemies, so you have to pay attention to who is in your party and what type of character they are. Does this enemy hit like a truck? Grab a defense character. Weak to magic? Grab a mage. It's so good! Adding strategy to a rhythm game is something I never exactly thought of, and I like this addition. It keeps things fresh for me, and I never found myself using the same characters constantly. Completing challenges unlocks things from potions and Phoenix Downs to summons and trading cards. The trading cards themselves are a nice touch, and there are a lot of them. Just going through them is a nostalgia trip for me. Some of them even have character stat boosts, while some boast character art. My favorite has to be the key moment art. These will help you relive those incredible or gut-wrenching moments from across the series' history. So, let's talk about music. At launch, Final Bar Line boasts an impressive 385 songs, with an additional 27 included in the deluxe and premium editions. Of course, with most rhythm games, there is DLC, and it will be released in 15 music packs spread across 3 season passes, with each containing an additional 30 songs, bringing the final count to 502. And not all of the music is from Final Fantasy. Down the pipeline, they're adding music from the Nier series, Throw It Ends With You, Chrono Trigger, and so much more. To unlock songs, you have to complete quests and earn keys to unlock access to each game. And just because you have unlocked a game, doesn't mean you can instantly play all of its songs. A song is only unlocked for free play if you have played the song before. On one hand, I like that, because you get to experience all of the game's music. But then the other hand, the online multiplayer is a ton of fun. It takes the core gameplay and adds in the battle mode from, say, Guitar Hero 3, where you're able to throw off your opponents. Whether it's by some stampeding chocobos or not being able to tell if you've hit the note or not, these effects are completely random, so you don't get to pick what happens, which I thoroughly enjoy. Though my one complaint would have to be that your Moogle constantly tells you everything play by play.
You're missing info! Incoming, Kupo! You activated a Bird Chocobo Stampede coming, Kupo!
Theatrhythm Barline is marketed as a celebration of 35 years of Final Fantasy, but I see it as a celebration of music and Square Enix as a whole. They really nailed the song selection, and while it did take me a bit of time to adjust to some of the improvements they included from the arcade version, I still think this game deserves a standing ovation. Whether you're a fan of Final Fantasy, a rhythm game connoisseur, or enjoy music as a whole, this is the game for you. Which is why I give it 9 notes out of 9.
Yeah, no, she said she's on the side of the...
Do you understand? Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this, make sure you watch this video I did on Fuser, another rhythm game that unfortunately lived a very short life. But if you also enjoy Final Fantasy, watch this video on how I turned my Stream Deck into my ultimate weapon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all real soon.